My name is Steve Smith. This is TQA Weekly, and if ever you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or drop them down below if you are, in fact, watching on YouTube. Today's topic is about the NTSC and PAL, how it's related to utility frequencies, and the loose correlation to the frames per second you now actually have in video games. But before I get into that, for those who didn't already know, I actually stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/ZEDAXIS 1981, same as my YouTube channel. And if you missed last week's show on Twitch, it will be up as a card in the top right corner if you're watching on YouTube. Of course, my channel for my Twitch is actually down below in the description, so don't forget to follow me on that too. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and the other channel where I have my Alt 123 Gaming. Now, that kind of show is where you can ask me live any of your questions, comments, and even things about your own PC builds, or just watch me play games like Deadpool and Life is Strange and anything else that you would like me to play. Now, this week's topic is NTSC, PAL, your FPS, and how they kind of relate to utility frequencies. And I'm going to make sure I don't bore you all to death about this. So first of all, in the 1960s, if you lived in North America and some parts of Asia, your utility frequency functioned at 60 hertz or 110 volts. And if you lived in the majority of the rest of the world, you had a frequency of 50 hertz and 230 volts. And these facts are important to what I'm about to tell you. So here's the thing. If you live in a 60 hertz zone with 110 volts coming out of the wall, you probably also have the NTSC standard, which happens to function at 30 frames per second. Here is where the correlation is going to be interesting. In the 1960s, they actually designed NTSC to use the power line frequency to time each of the half frames of the interlaced video that actually generate 30 frames per second. Because interlaced video itself only generates all the odd and then even lines one after another. So if you are an NTSC zone with 110 volts in the wall at 60 hertz, what they did is the TV was actually designed to time using that frequency and actually generate each of the frames in the correct order in the correct time based on the power line frequency. And this is why NTSC has 30 frames per second or 60 half frames. Keep that one in mind. That's where something came from. If you live in the majority of the rest of the world where PAL is the standard, where you have 50 hertz coming out of the wall and 230 volts coming out of it, what ended up happening is its utility frequency, because it was 50, only generated 25 frames per second of interlaced images, or 50 half frames, basically all the odd, then even, odd, even, odd, even, like I said, for NTSC. And they use that power line frequency to actually time all of those frames so that it would run smoothly. And this is where you get NTSC and PAL and how the governments kind of actually just based everything on what was already around them. Now, because of various different things that are happening, like all of these power companies not wanting to keep a fixed utility frequency, modern computers, televisions, and clocks are technically capable of keeping their own time. So they no longer base their time based on utility frequencies. In fact, if you ever buy anything, and trust me, it's happened to me too, that is based off the power line frequency, it will lose a lot of time, especially in places where the power line utility frequency is all over the place. I live in Quebec, by the way. And because of this, most of these modern computers and televisions and clocks can even query NIST servers, and NIST servers are time servers that get their time from atomic clocks. So they're fairly accurate time servers. So this is how we get a lot of our newer stuff. We get to keep our time correctly on our computers despite power line frequency not being standardized anymore. So where you get the 60 FPS is kind of like when you started moving from interlaced to progressive imagery, where you were capable of now building the entire image in a single piece. While 60 FPS interlace is kind of better than 30 FPS interlace, the fact that we're able to have 60 FPS of progressive images is what actually gives us more information during our games. And because technology has advanced so far and to be so fast, we can now enjoy a full image every single frame. So instead of having 60 half frames, we have 60 full progressive frames that allow us to have twice the amount of information and be twice as fast on our reflexes while gaming. So if you're trying to figure out why gamers like 60 FPS, well, if you're playing a 30 FPS game against a guy playing the same game at 60 FPS, you're more likely to lose because you have half the information he does. And this is kind of where your FPS relates to your power line utility frequency. If you learned anything, don't forget to like this. If you didn't learn anything because you already knew this, why are you watching? Don't forget to like this show, sub if you already haven't done that, and don't forget to go to patreon.com/TQA Weekly to flip me $1 or more to help me continue making this set better and better. And at one point I will try to use the green screen and my logo in the background as opposed to having a full black screen, because it'll probably make this image even a lot better. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/TQA Weekly. Go to twitch.tv/ZEDAXIS1981, same as my YouTube channel, to follow me and watch me play from Friday, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. The links will be down below, and have a great day. Goodbye.